I believe that James Gunn's Superman 2025, is the most important superhero movie of the 2020s. Now, let me go ahead and explain this real quick, okay? Because if you're watching this video, that means you probably are in the film talk YouTube sphere, right? And so you very much are very well aware that superhero movies are dead, or basically dying, very, very much dying, because in the 2010s, the MCU was at its absolute peak. 2019, with Avengers Endgame being the highest grossing film of all time, until Avatar took it back, but it was the highest grossing film of all time. And that was huge, and with the whole film industry and everything in the 2010s was absolutely huge. But if you're familiar with how the movies have been doing as of late, you've noticed that Thunderbolts made like $300 million. It lost a lot of money. And you had Captain America: Brave New World. It was like $400 to $500 million. That's less. That is half of what Captain Marvel made back in 2019. This is very significantly less than the superhero movies used to make. And so the reason I'm talking about this is just because I think this is more or less kind of my prediction, I guess. But I believe that Superman is the most important movie of this decade, because as we have been seeing superhero movies declining and declining and declining, we need something to kind of get a resurgence back into it. And it doesn't take just any really good movie, because I know a lot of people were saying last year that Deadpool and Wolverine was going to save the MCU. But here's the thing. Deadpool and Wolverine can't save the MCU because it's not MCU. It's Deadpool. And just one good movie doesn't save a franchise. Superman is the beginning of a new franchise. And the reason I believe it is the most important is because it is kind of a bit of a test, if you will. I believe Superman is a test to see if audiences will really, I guess, start again, because Superman's the start of a universe, and Superman is basically Iron Man. Like like Iron Man was the start of the MCU. Superman is the start of the DC cinematic universe. And if Superman flops and people hate it, then I think superhero movies are just going to continue to decline. I think they're just going to continue spiraling down the declining staircase. But if Superman is really good, that means DC's next movie, that might get some more. That might boost up the next DC movie. And if DC movies are starting to get boosted because they're seeing really good quality movies again, because that's the reason why people have been falling off the MCU. The reasons why people have been falling off the MCU is bad quality movies, and there's too much backstory. At this point, with Avengers Endgame kind of being like the cutoff, at this point, it's become too much. The MCU has become too much. And with DC, they can start over. But I also think that Superman can help boost the MCU, because if Superman is doing well and the DC side is doing well, that hopefully should also translate into people having more optimism about superhero movies in general and going to see some of the more Marvel movies. And hopefully that might translate over to Marvel. We are looking, I know a lot of people have been talking about the Marvel MCU movies getting reset. A lot of people have been talking about that they're gonna reset that universe. I don't know if those rumors are true. I don't know. But I believe that Superman is really kind of a crucial point, because really I think if people latch on to Superman and they really love it, because personally I think this is going to be the best Superman movie ever. Like, I haven't seen this movie at all, but from the trailers, from what I've seen, I went from I was like, James Gunn doing Superman? I don't think this is going to be a good idea. To this could very much be the best Superman we have ever had. Granted, I also should say that I don't like the Christopher Reeves movies. I've seen 1 and 2. I think 2 is absolutely horrendously terrible, and I think 1 is insanely cheesy. not like as per modern day standards, they're not good movies. And personally, I love Man of Steel, but like I get it. I get it. A lot of people don't like the darker tone. They don't like the deconstruction of it. Personally, I love that movie, but I know a lot of people are really put off by it. They're like, this is not Superman. I get that. I think, from what I've seen of the trailers, I think this movie takes Man of Steel and Superman 1978 and brings them together. I think it takes the sincerity of the Christopher Reeves, the hopefulness, the sincerity of the Christopher Reeves, and then it takes some of the realism of the kind of putting Superman into the real world kind of thing from Man of Steel, and then also especially a lot of the epic nature of Superman from Man of Steel. You take those two and you combine them together, and then just go like really comic booky. Like we're taught like this is going like full embrace the comic books. And really, honestly, if Superman like hits over $1 billion and is a massive hit, we could be talking about superhero movies going forward really latching on to that more comic booky feel. And I think that could be great, because especially if you go back to over 20 years ago, movies were so embarrassed to be comic book movies. Like they were just like, the X-Men movies were just like, oh, we're not gonna do those weird costumes. We're just gonna put everybody in leather, like black leather. It's just like, it wasn't great. Like it was very ashamed of itself. And Superman looks to be very proud of being a comic book, kind of crazy, wild, just fun superhero movie. And I think if that's where DC goes with this, then I think we could be looking at a brand new era of comic book movies. I think we could be. Is it guaranteed? Probably not. And if Superman does super well, and it does bring in a new era of like a DC universe, and it brings in a new era of really well-performing superhero movies, we could be looking at theaters doing so much better. Because if you look at when the MCU was doing so much better, you look at all these other movies were doing a whole lot better too. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Maybe Superman doesn't make a dent at all. I don't know. I just personally, I was just thinking, since Superman's coming out in a couple of days, I'm thinking to myself, I really hope Superman does really well. I really hope that it is as good as I'm hoping it is going to be. And I think if it is, it could have a very huge cultural impact and be a turning point for comic book movies in general. Because I don't think people are tired of comic book movies. I just don't think that people want to go see another movie in a franchise that has been, as of recently, low quality, and then you have to do a bunch of homework, and it's there's a lot of story catch up. If you're entering the MCU for the first time, you've got over 30 movies and like 15 TV shows. I don't even know if the number's correct, but like you've got so much you have to watch to catch up. And since Endgame, really, nothing has really been connected. Like there is no overarching story. There really isn't anything there. And like with Thunderbolts, I went and saw a Nicolas Cage movie over Thunderbolts and never watched Thunderbolts. Like I didn't really care to watch. I saw Captain America: Brave New World because I thought it was going to be terrible. Like I didn't watch any of the 2023 Marvel movies. Like that's where Marvel is to me. I used to be going to see every single Marvel movie, and I'm hoping Fantastic Four is going to be really good. I'm actually looking forward to Fantastic Four. I'm really hoping it's going to be good. But like, I don't know. Like, I see the trailers and I'm like, this looks really fun. This looks really good, but it could be terrible. I don't know. You really can't ever know for sure anymore with Marvel. And, DC, they kind of really bombed it all, when they saw an $800 million movie, and they're like, we're failing, because all the Marvel movies were doing so well. And they kept second guessing themselves so many times that they just kept bombing it. And if James Gunn, if he continues down his creative path and does not waver, no matter if Superman does really well, if it doesn't do too well, like if the first movies are good and we start a track record of good movies and we just keep getting good movies and we don't have to wait 3 years between movies, we could be looking at something great, you know? You've got the Batman, which was really good, but like that's a one-off. That's its own little epoch universe. We had Deadpool and Wolverine last year. That was over $1 billion hit, but again, that was kind of just a side thing. This is the start of a new universe. And with the start of a new universe means you can get people invested starting at square one. They don't have to do any homework. And this is the start of a new journey. And this could be the start of a new big universe that could boost cinemas. It could boost other movies. We could be looking at something better, or it could do nothing. And things just continue on as usual. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think Superman is the most important movie, superhero movie of the 2020s? Do you think the Superman has any importance at all? Are you excited for Superman? Let me know down in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.